Hello and welcome to this YouTube video on how to make seared rock codfish with king prawns. First and foremost, you have to make sure that everything is set. The fish is white meat, so you have to make sure that your fish is fresh. How do you know whether the fish is fresh? You look at its color. The color is white, is okay, is clear. Then you smell. The smell is okay. Next, again with your prawns. The prawns have the shells in them, so I'm going to clean them first. And this is the way you do the cleaning of the prawns. You have to make sure that you are cleaning them in flowing water. So there you go. You have to make sure you remove this part which is not edible, which is like the feces of the fish, or the prawns rather. Again, make sure that you are cleaning it in flowing water. This part we call the mise en place part of it. Again, in flowing water. And because I'm just making a portion for one person, I use 3 pieces, which is okay. The rest I will serve them in my freezer. The other thing, when you do it, you have to marinate your fish and your prawns. So I'm going to use just a simple marination of lemon, soy sauce, and a bit of white vinegar, which is optional. But because I'm going to use it in the sauce, I will not use the vinegar. Rather, I use salt and a bit of black pepper. So I'll squeeze my lemon juice in both the codfish, and remember the codfish is with the skin on. There you go. A bit of sprinkles of few salt. In this world nowadays people are running away from salt, so make sure that you don't put a lot of salt. This is light soy sauce. Again, the soy sauce is, as you know, it contains some salt, so make sure that when you are putting soy sauce, you also don't put in plenty. So after that, you put your prawns and your fish aside so that you can prepare the other mise en place. So let the prawns and the fish stay for 5 to 15 minutes in that marinade. Meanwhile, you need to get your canned potatoes. And I'm going to use a turning knife. Remember, I'm going to turn them later because now I'm just removing the skin. Then I'm going to reshape the potatoes the way I want, and that is to turn them. I don't want to turn them directly because I don't want to waste that part of the potatoes. So I'm just going to peel first. Then later I'm going to turn the potatoes. There you are. Now, the potatoes, you have to make sure that you put them in cold water so that they don't oxidize and turn color. So I'm going to turn the potatoes, and that's the way you do it. Make sure you go 1 line, you don't stop. There you are, it has to be egg-shaped. Remember, you need to be cost effective. That's why I don't want to throw these, because I'm going to get straw potatoes from this, the trimming that I'm doing from the potatoes. When you're turning your potatoes, you should make sure that they are all of the same size. So when you're cooking them, they all cook at the same time. So make sure that your potatoes are of the same size. Because if you make the potatoes too big, others too small, they will not cook together. There you are. There you are, that's your turned potatoes. Then again, the potato trimmings, I'm not going to use this knife now, because this one is for turning. So basically what I will do is, I'll get my potatoes, clean them again. Cleanliness in the kitchen is very much important. So you have to make sure that in every session you do, you have to make sure that you do the cleaning. So these are the straw potatoes. There you are, that will be enough for one portion. The rest of the potatoes, we make sure that you keep them safe. You can use them again when you want to thicken your stews or anything, or when you want to make mashed potatoes, you can as well use those potato trimmings. Remember, as I've said, cleaning is of very much important. There you are. So it's always advisable before you start cooking, going to the cooking ranges, make sure that all your mise en places are ready, so that you don't need to be going on forth and forth. So we are going to start by searing our fish, and here we are. Then, meanwhile, as the pan is getting hot, make sure that we put our potatoes on fire. And when grilling, I'm going to use olive oil. And I have my butter. Where's my knife? There you are. So you have to make sure that your oil is hot before you start grilling it, but not too smoking, so that you don't as well burn your codfish. Remember, when you're grilling the fish, you need to start with the side the skin is, that is the skin on. And there you are. So you're going to grill it until it becomes crispy. Meanwhile, you're going to be boiling our water so that we can boil our saffron potatoes. But unfortunately, in my market there is no saffron, so I've decided to use turmeric just to get the color. Yesterday, being a holiday, there was no saffron in the market, so bear with me, but it's supposed to be saffron, but now I'm going to use turmeric, which definitely is of the same family. Remember, I use the same pan for grilling our prawns, so I'll wait for the fish to cook first, then I can actually use it to grill my prawns. For good presentation of my fish, my prawns, I love dissecting it, so that it gives a nice presentation. As we always say, the customer eats with their eyes first. So I'm going to make it look like a butterfly. There it is. And again, you need to remember, fish goes well with the lemon, though we are going to use it in the sauce, but others, most of the clients prefer having fish, and it's always advisable to serve fish with lemon. So I'm going to get my lemon ready. So when I'm just plating my fish, it will be just sitting on the plate. So this is the fish, the lemon that I'm going to use for my presentation. It is. So that will come later. So I'll let my fish to be a bit crispy. So meanwhile, you can see my water for potatoes has started boiling. So you need to cook for around 15 minutes or so. When you're boiling potatoes, it's always good. You put salt in it so that the salt, you can boil together with the salt. And don't forget, I was supposed to serve it with saffron. It was to be infused with saffron, but in the supermarket, it was not available. So just bear with me. There you are. So when I'm just about to present my fish, I'll get my potatoes. Just for information, when you want to check whether your potatoes are cooked, you can use your fork or you can use your toothpick. So once you insert and you feel the tenderness of the potatoes, definitely you know the potatoes are already cooked. There you are. I need to change, because I want to do the introduction for the sauce, the white sauce. As you said, when you're in the kitchen, you can do 3 things or 2 things at a time. You don't need to waste time. I need my finely chopped onions. This onion is for making my reduction. I'm going to do the reduction of cider, the white wine vinegar, and the white wine. I'm going to use a quarter of it. Then I'll mix my white wine vinegar to make my reduction. There you are. Use my onions for reduction, then I'll put a bit of black pepper. So as you can see, my fish is almost ready. So my fish is almost ready. I'll use the same pan to grill my prawns. Because at the end of the day, both are fish or seafood. As I've said, this is white meat. It has to be served well done. If it is the other types of meat cuts, you can serve them medium, but white meat is always done well done. this sizzling, I want to make a straw potato, and because I need them crispy, I have to make sure that my oil is hot enough. Still waiting for a reduction. You have to reduce, and those are almost like 5 minutes, because I can feel they're still hard inside. For our reduction, we're still waiting for oil to be a bit hot, and there we are. Remember, these potatoes, we are going to use them for garnish. The potatoes, you have to make sure they're dry, because you're putting them in water so that your oil will not splash out. Remember, this my pan is non-stick, so I don't need to use the metallic. There we are. Now we are doing the final presentation, because we need to serve our food hot. Our vegetables must be crispy when you're serving them, so they should not take long to cook. And you just need some salt, some pepper, there you are. Remember, the vegetables should be green. Our vegetables should be green. There you are. Definitely that's a generous portion. And our reduction is on for our sauce now. I use butter slowly by slowly, as I am stirring it. And as I told you, I'm going to put butter slowly. This we are going to use this. Remember, these are the straw potatoes that I didn't want to waste. Then my prawns. There you are. Just to break this color, I can use this as my garnish. Then I get my sauce. My sauce is almost ready. I'm going to use my strainer to strain. Why is my sieve? I'm going to use my strainer to sieve my sauce. There you are. Then I found that most people nowadays, they don't want to put the sauce inside. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to serve sauce aside. So my client can choose. So I'm going to present it with the sauce aside. So once the waiter goes, he's going to present it. And so for the presentation, it's always good to use dill. Dill is universally accepted as a garnish for fish. It can also go to the sauce. But for now, I'll just use the dill leaves. It goes well with fish. It gives you that aroma and the scent. So there you are. So you can see my fish. It has dill, it has lemon, and it has its own garnish. This garnish was just to break the color so that when you're eating the food, you can feel it. You can eat with your eyes. Thank you. An omelette, you need to have a clean bowl. And I'm going to make a 2-egg omelette. Here it is. It's always advisable because you don't know where the market was, to clean and make sure that your eggs are clean before you start anything. So make sure that your eggs are clean. And make sure when you're breaking the eggs, you don't break the shell inside. Make sure that you don't break the shell. There you are. These are the 2 eggs. Remember, your pan should not be extremely hot. It should be just sitting like that. Previously in my video, I had shown you how to cut the vegetables, and I'm going to use 3 of them. I'm going to use, as I said, in this omelette is an option. You can use coriander, you can use chilies. The others who even nowadays prefer to use grated carrot, but for now I'm just going to use these 3 types of vegetables. That is the green pepper, tomatoes, and the onions. Remember as well again, there are some people who prefer their omelette when the vegetables are pre-cooked first, and others like them raw. So for now, I'm just going to use raw vegetables. Check properly. I don't want my pan to burn too much. There you are. Make sure you whisk it nicely. Always remember to use salt. And as I've said, nowadays in the kitchen, most of the people don't prefer using too much salt because of these chronic diseases. So just put some to taste. There you are. Let's use our pan. This time it's optional, you can use vegetable oil. And a little bit of margarine or butter. There you are. In the modern kitchen or the busy kitchen is always advisable because you have plenty client. So once it browns one side, so I'll just switch off I'll switch off my pan. As I said, I need my omelette medium done. I don't want it too well done. Then you have, for presentation purpose, you need to fold it twice, like that. Put it in your plate. Then I'm going to use tomatoes for my garnish. There you are for an omelette. Simple dish to make. And thank you very much for the time you shared. And in case of any inquiries, I'm Chef John, and welcome in my kitchen. Thank you very much, and may God bless you.